Happy Thursday. It's tip time today. And today we're going to talk about taking AP classes. The whys, the whats, the hows kind of things. Mm-hmm. So the first thing we're going to talk about is why. Why would you want to take an AP class?
Right. For some people, they kind of shy away from AP classes because they're afraid of what it might do to their GPA, but there really are a lot of benefits of taking AP. Mm-hmm. One of the things is that it will help you become better prepared for college because they are taught more like a college class, yes, which may be kind of a shock to a lot of students that are used to receiving information in a different way. You can also potentially get college credit. Mm-hmm. Not every college accepts AP credit, but some do, so it would benefit you both to be prepared and possibly get some bonus credit. In AP classes, you do a little bit more critical thinking, yes, and less just hearing information and repeating it back. Right. In these classes, you really need to be able to understand the topics that you are addressing and be able to talk about them and write about them in a way that demonstrates that you really understand what you're talking about and you can make connections between topics. So you will do more writing in an AP class. And the more writing you do, ideally, the better you should get at it. You should improve your writing skills by taking AP classes. And writing is becoming more and more important in college classes and in other areas as well. Another thing that you could gain from taking an AP class is a sense of independence and a little bit more self-direction in your learning. We'll talk about that here in a minute as far as one of the strategies for success in these classes.
Yeah, so that's what's next. Here's how to do well in these classes, because they're not the same kind of classes you've seen before. You don't just spit back up stuff that a teacher has fed you. You really have to take that and manipulate it and apply it to new circumstances. And so there are some ways to do that better than others.
Right. And as we've said, these may be different, fundamentally different than other things you've done. Mm-hmm. I mean, you may also do these things in other classes, but for some people, this is the first time they've had to really take charge of their own studying.
Yes.
And for students that don't take AP, a lot of times they'll get to college and they'll be like, oh no, I didn't learn how to do this. I don't know how to study. I don't know how to manage my time. But reading is super important in an AP class. Not only can you prepare yourself before you take an AP class by doing reading of a wide variety of topics and genres on your own, but once you get in that AP class, if your teacher assigns reading, chapters in the book, external sources, novels, articles, read the material.
Yeah.
So we have had students in the past come in and say something like, I don't like these AP classes because my teacher doesn't teach me anything. Well, if you are assigned reading and you did not read it, then it would be very hard to come to class and have a discussion about the topic that you are attempting to learn and understand.
Sure.
So make sure you do the reading. That will be important in college also. Take notes, okay? After you've done the reading and you're doing discussion and you're expanding upon a topic in class, ideally you should take notes. If your teacher provides you with a study guide, that is intended to benefit you in furthering your understanding of the material. So make sure you do those because they should be helpful to you as you are doing the AP tests, you're doing your projects and assignments and papers in class. So make sure, like I said, do the work, okay? Study groups. This is something that we haven't really seen much here at school. We've talked about how the library is open until 4 o'clock every afternoon except for Friday when we close at 3:30. We're also open in the morning. You could also meet at another student's home, but getting together and talking about the topics outside of class, because remember this is a course in which you will need to do some additional work outside of class. Reading the chapter together, maybe even for those of you that are auditory learners, take turns reading the chapter aloud. So that you can experience the information in different ways. But discussing and helping each other further your understanding would be a great benefit. Online and print test prep. We can help you find resources to practice your skills and to learn more information for your test. Quizlet, I have heard, is great for practice questions. We also have AP test prep books for all the courses that we have here at East, and there are some other online areas as well for test prep. So make sure you check those out. Seeking additional info. Notice that we have talked a lot about doing extra legwork on your own. Do not expect everything to be handed to you in these classes, because they are not. That's not how it works. As I've said, they're intended to prepare you a little bit more for college, and in college, there's much less of the, now you need to do this. You will need to help yourself understand the information. And one of the ways to do that is to read more on the topic, watch videos on the topic from reputable sources, not just movies based on the time period, but find other information to expand your own understanding, so you can bring that to class and say, hey, I saw this, or I read this, and this connects to what we're talking about in this way. Attending extracurricular opportunities. This was suggested by Ms. Stewart. If your teacher tells you, hey, there's this thing going on at this museum, you should try to go. Or, hey, this over here is going to be on, or is on the YouTube or whatever, a speech from a particular figure, or a documentary is going to be airing, or something like that. Any of these sort of things that, again, are additional information, you should really check that out, especially if they tell you about it. Ask questions. If you're, and this applies to all classes, not just AP classes, but in particular, if you don't understand something, ask your teacher. Okay? If you're not comfortable asking them in class, write it down and give it to them at the end of class. Send them an email, send them a Schoology message, contact them in some way to let them know that you need additional assistance, or you would like further information, or just to clarify a point. Okay? Time management is important. Okay? That's the last tip we're going to give you, but it is super important because, as I said, in college, you're not going to have somebody telling you, don't forget, this is due on this day. You'll get a syllabus. Everything will be in the syllabus, and it is up to you to remember when things are due. So don't wait till the very last minute and say, oh no, I have an enormous paper due tomorrow. Oops. I haven't done the reading, and I haven't started this paper. I don't know why I got a bad grade. Okay?
Because you use word salad instead of actual research.
Yes, like we were talking about this earlier. You will need to do quality work in these classes, so you will need to put in effort and time on your own if you would like to succeed. So if you don't do those things, if you don't put in the effort and you don't put in the time, then you can't really say, oh, this class was just a bad class. That's not what happened there. Okay, so make sure you take that personal responsibility. Do the reading, do the work, put in the time, put in the effort, and then you will benefit from the AP class. So, and if you have any questions, you can always come and ask us. You can always, remember, we have those books you can check out, or we can show you those online materials. And hopefully this was helpful to you. If any of you are currently thinking about taking an AP class, don't let any of that stuff scare you away. It really is worth it. And you also get bonus points. How does that bonus points thing work?
Oh, it's fantastic. So at the end of each 9 weeks, you get 5 points added onto your grade. So if you do happen to pull a B in one of these classes, that 5 points could pull you into the A range. And so then on top of that, you get a 5.0 instead of a 4.0 on your GPA. So there are some benefits. Don't be scared because it's hard. They compensate for how hard it is with the points in the GPA.
Yes, you get some bonus points. So don't worry that taking an AP class is going to mess up your GPA and then it'll be a bad thing when you're applying for colleges. Colleges want you to take challenging classes.
Even if they don't give you credit for it, they want you to have taken AP classes because it makes them think that you're the kind of kid who can do your own legwork.
Right.
And that's important.
And that you're willing to challenge yourself.
Yes.
So, okay. Hopefully this was helpful, and we'll see you on Monday with some book talks.